Hey guys, Tomboy601, and today we are in Smaland. And the reason for that is, well, it was a bit of a black sheep early in this update. The guns didn't like when other ships were close by, or who knows. There was a very rough aiming bug in Smaland, and if you pay attention to the Discord and such, there was maintenance yesterday, and it was supposed to fix the guns. It was supposed to fix the aiming bug that has been plaguing Smaland, and I'm here to report very happily that well, it is fixed. The Smaland is now, I would say, playable. I know some of you are like, oh, you rely too much on auto aim. No, it like there's relying too much on auto aim, and then there's the game actively fighting you, trying to aim at the correct point, and that's what it was like. So I'm very happy to report that the Smaland aiming bug is fixed, and as a result, we can now preview this fantastic little boat. So Smaland, she is the Tier 8 Pan-European destroyer. If you haven't been aware of that line, what's their whole gimmick? Well, they have fast long-range torpedoes. They have semi-fast firing guns that tend to have a rather low DPM. They have moderate health, and they have pretty good AA. What do they trade for all that? Well, no smoke. They don't have a way to escape. Oh, and the guns tend to be somewhat long range, but not really. They're not battleship long range. They're long range for destroyers. So it provides a unique playstyle, one that I think very much benefits all of its traits. Not having the smoke, but being able, because if you play these at range, to be able to disengage, like it works out very well. Well, what does Smaland add from Ostergotland, the previous Tier 7? Well, the other boats get a heal. And with Smaland, what you can do is trade out that heal for a radar. 20-second radar, 7.5 kilometer range. Pretty solid all around. We'll be able to use it right here for trading out two of the heals. Like we said earlier, the hit point pools for these boats tend to be low to mid as far as what we're representing for the tier. I tend to run Stig Eriksson, who is the torpedo boat commander, with while also running Sims to get a little bit of extra health. So the losing the heal does hurt, but it makes you an incredibly utilitarian, an incredibly versatile little destroyer, and one that is incredibly deadly. We're gonna come around here. We've been kind of stalked by this Shimakaze. We're like, okay, we can go ahead and engage him. We're just waiting for him to pop his inevitable smoke, which he's going to do right there. Disengages. We can go ahead and just reacquire him through the smoke, and now we can just go ahead and melt him down for the rest of his health. And this is one of those really nice things about Smaland. You're seeing, as far as our DPM goes, we're not incredibly high, right? If we were in a gunboat battle, we would be fighting for our life at this moment, but because we're kind of hunting a fellow fellow torpedo boat, we do have a very strong ability just to go ahead and end him as he tries to get us with the good old torpedoes off to one side. Sadly, teammates finish him off, so we don't get the kill, but that's 15,000 damage down, and a Shimakaze eliminated. Woo! Also, our team is well, we've lost 2 battleships, but they've lost 2 destroyers, and I would much rather be down 2 battleships than down 2 destroyers, because that means they only have 1 destroyer left. Let's see if we can assist in hunting down that final destroyer, and then seeing what havoc we can cause with these torpedoes. Now, Smaland does have a very interesting torpedo layout. I don't know if you are able to see as far as her launchers go. She has 1 torpedo launcher up front, that has 5 tubes, and then the second torpedo launcher has 3 tubes, which is a bit weird. Usually you have, the same number of torpedoes with each salvo. I do not have her upgraded at all, so I don't know if this is something that changes once you get like the hull upgrade or the torpedo upgrade, But for now, at least in the base model, 5 torpedoes then 3 torpedoes. So you do kind of have to keep that in mind, especially if you're someone like me who likes to cycle the torpedoes. The torpedoes are a pretty strong option as far as like their ability, which is kind of why I build into them. They don't have a ton of damage, only a 10,957 alpha strike, but 12-kilometer range, 80 knot top speed, and with Stig, I have the reload down to 73 seconds, which means that you can kind of fire one tube, wait a little bit, fire the next tube, and then kind of have torpedoes on reload every 30 seconds. You know, firing torpedoes having a salvo of torpedoes every 30 seconds, that's equivalent to a battleship, right? Battleships fire salvos every 30 seconds. So there's some pretty good damage to be had if you can manage to land these correctly. Shimakaze, we saw that he was trying to take out B. We go ahead, get a couple of shots in on him. We have a couple, he skirts out, and well, we see good old Yamato. You'll see us fire down these torpedoes. One spread of wide, one spread of narrow, and now we just have this cat and mouse game. Good news for us, we do have twist and track to give us kind of the idea of where the Shimakaze is going. We also did see Colbert there. What my plan is now, we're going to sit in the cap and try to spot Colbert, keeping this island off to the front of us. If Shimakaze decides to come back, we can use the island to kind of break contact with Colbert and maybe isolate that Shimakaze to go ahead and eliminate him. But for now, I want to keep Colbert lit, so maybe my team can go ahead and hit it. It's not going to work out that way, sadly. We do get a hit on the Yamato, and Shimakaze is going to come forward. We did lose our engine there, so we're going to go ahead and repair that so we can get moving as quick as possible, as we are now trying to break contact with that Colbert, but maintaining the contact on the Shimakaze. Shimakaze isolating himself right here, which is exactly what we want him to do. And, well, it is going to be nice and easy for us to be able to whittle him down right here as we take a couple of rounds from the battleships over at sea. But Shimakaze dealt with, B defended, and we are currently all tied up on ships. But we do need to be careful because, well, there's someone already capping B, and we know there's a particularly fast French cruiser in the area who could absolutely melt us. So we are going to try get our distance from him currently. Once we do that, we can try to sneak around to the back of A. My idea here is we do have this squadron of ships at sea. What can happen on this map is you can get a force to kind of hold out at B, and they can be particularly effective, especially if they have some sort of spotting, or if they're able to have one person spot and the other one kind of maintain cover. So my idea here, we're going to try get our distance around this island and around back, provide spotting for whoever is in B so that our teammates at C can shoot at them, and maybe go over to A while they're being hampered, and get that cap so we kind of maintain the points lead. But we're not going to need that. We're going to use our engine boost. Colbert gets spotted right here, and we're like, okay, let's just go ahead, leave a set of torpedoes on the indicator, see if he wants to continue down on a straight line. If he doesn't, that's okay. We can see Yamato coming up the rear, and at this point I'm like, okay, they're clearly going for the push-through strategy, head straight for the people we already know. If that's the case, I really just need them to vacate the spawn, and then we can get out of there. But, well, 3 torpedo hits on the Colbert, goes ahead and eliminates him, and that means we only got Yamato here to deal with, and that's absolutely fine by us. So we're going to go ahead, begin to engage him, because, let's be clear, he's committed to coming through this gap. So, he can have 2 options. One, he can just take our fire spam and focus on the 3 ships that are ahead of him. Or, if he's finding us particularly annoying, he can go ahead and turn his whole ship, turn all of his guns to try to shoot at us. But which case, that is going to severely hamper him with getting those guns back on target to engage the rest of our team. So we will happily take this, evade those shells. We know we got 30 seconds in the clear, and by that time he's going to be around that island. So we can go ahead, start to engage this Yamato just a little bit more, see if we can beat his speed and maintain being able to fire at him, but it's not looking particularly great. But for us, that's all we needed to do, right? We took his guns out of the match for a little bit, while he's now trying to turn them to deal with the rest of our team. He turns back in. We can go ahead, continue to engage him, get that permafire started. Permafire chance, or fire chance on these guns, fairly decent, 8%. And that's going to be the end of him, and that's going to be the end of the match. Guys, that's Smaland. Like I said, I think it's a fantastic little boat, especially now that it can aim properly. If you like the video, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. See ya.